But that's what I was talking to Coach about too earlier. He was just like, yeah, we just didn't play a complete game. We played them tough. But luckily they got those 2 games on the road out of the way. Now, because, in conference play, we play 1 on the road, 1 at home. We play Northern Iowa and Drake at home to close the season.
So what you expecting to see out of Indiana State going forward into the season? And then you don't speak from Indiana State student or fan. Right. Speak as in what you really think you're going to see out of Indiana State going, because they're not doing bad.
No,
to be starting off 0-4, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Or where they're at now. So what do you expect to see out of them?
Dude, I really don't know, because at the beginning of the season it was rough. They just had to mesh, and then they looked unstoppable on that win streak. And then now they got tested on the road and lost 2 straight, and then came back and got a dub on their home court. But I don't know. I'm expecting to see them do better than they were last year. I think a season like last season for JB and Tyreek and Cooper and Christian Williams, they don't want that again.
Of course.
And then you add those 2. We're gonna say their names thousands more times on this podcast. LaRavia and Williams. You have those 2 down low. Dude, I think
1,000 more times this year, next year, the year after. You're gonna hear their names.
Yeah. So what they have is special, and I think they can be a top team in the conference, but only time will tell, and we'll talk a bunch more about them as the season goes on. They got Evansville Wednesday, and we'll see.
Yep. All right. This next one I'm actually really excited to talk about. Clemson, LSU.
We could be in
Sunshine.
Yup.
Burrows.
You like my notes on there? Joe Burrow versus Trevor Lawrence. Heisman winner versus 2019 National.
Yeah.
Bro, Trevor Lawrence has never lost in college. He's like 25, 24-0. He's never held an L before in his life, it seems like. So we are probably in for the greatest college football game, at least up there all time tonight.
Of course. Now, this is how I look at it. A lot of people have been talking and saying, everybody have their opinions. There's some people that say, oh, LSU, they've been doing good all year. They got the momentum on their side, this, and that. Clemson's got momentum on their side,
about
too.
The Clemson Tigers, man.
Listen, this is their argument, though. People have been saying, okay, well, they haven't played anybody. Okay, I understand they haven't played anybody, but if you beat up on somebody, if you keep beating up on these teams all the way up until the national championship, then yes, it's going.
People said they hadn't played anybody, and then they rolled through Ohio State a couple weeks ago, too.
Yeah.
So Clemson's their dog. You forgot that they blew out Alabama last year in the national championship.
And you just got to really give respect to the people that's on the sideline, like Dabo Swinney.
Yes, bro.
He's just a good coach.
Yeah.
You look at Sunshine, he's just a good player.
Yep.
And then, not to even mention the receivers and stuff they working with, like T. Higgins and them.
Yep.
And then you look at their running back in Tinian, he going crazy too. But this is the thing I like LSU too. I think that the main thing is going to be whose defense can step up the most.
And I was thinking that when I was going over this, because I personally don't know a lot about the defense, but I knew you were going to be talking about the defense.
Of course.
I just knew it was.
The defense, man, first off, this is where it comes in. This is why people say offense wins games, defense wins championships.
Yep.
Because at some point, that offense is going to meet another offense that's just as good as them.
Yep.
And Joe Burrows is good. And I like Clyde E-Hilaire, the running back. He's good. But you look at what they working with at Clemson, they got the same top. That's like the same 2 people in their backfield.
Yeah, man.
So at some point, that's when their defense comes up. Who's going to make those plays defensively? You look at the secondaries, it's going to be a matchup between both of those. So I'm expecting to see a lot from the secondary and the linebackers and the defensive line. It's just going to be a big defensive game for both of the teams because the offenses are so good. So the defense has to step up at some point, make some plays.
Literally, like I said, we could be in for one of the top matchups in history of the sport, I think, tonight. Just you have a team like LSU and you have a team like Clemson. They're honestly identical, or they're pretty similar.
Like the play style, I don't think the play style is identical, but the players.
Just the personnel, and the capabilities and the skill of the team, I think is special. I need to see, because I think LSU's running back, he's been questionable for the last couple weeks.
Oh, Clyde.
Yeah, I wonder, what's his status for tonight? Do you know, or have you been following? I'm trying to look it up now, but I can't see anything.
That would
Clyde
be bad.
Edwards
That would be
Sinclair.
terrible for him to miss
I know.
the whole national
I don't
the
think
national
he's going to miss,
championship.
but I think it's something to keep an eye on because he has been battling injuries the past couple weeks. And to close out the season, okay, his status is active for tonight. Okay. So it's going to be a good one, man. I'm excited. And definitely we'll talk about it again on Thursday as a recap.
What they did to Oklahoma was just...
Dude, steamrolled.
That was crazy.
What did Burrow throw 7 touchdowns?
I knew they were going to win, but I didn't think
he'd put up 7 passing touchdowns in the first half.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Dribbles with the left hand, the three-pointer up, the three-pointer down!
To the 20, following that blocker. What a run!
We're about to take it back.
All right. Dozers, did you know? Did you know that the second NFL All-Star game ever was played at Gilmore Stadium in L.A.? The Green Bay Packers beat the NFL All-Stars 16-7.
Wait, they had a team play the All-Stars?
I guess. And what's crazy? Why is the scores always so small? And whenever I do these Dozers, did you knows, and we talk football, it's always a small score.
I mean, you got to think.
They never score a lot.
So this was in 1940.
They were probably running that slow option all day.
Games changed. But, why were the Packers
playing the All-Stars? They must have thought they were
that good. 16-7 final score. So
all right, man. Victor Oladipo, and we've been waiting for this, both of us, me and you.
You know how long I've waited to type that on the script? Dude.
Hey, man, Victor Oladipo set to return, man.
Wednesday, January 29th against
versus
the Bulls.
The Bulls.
I already have my tickets for it, man. I'm going. I'm excited.
Hey, you're not playing.
No.
Man. And you got that in the script. Talking about already have my tickets.
Dude, I'm excited just for the atmosphere in Banker's Life. I can't, because I don't know if, I would imagine
I'm going to tell you what I'm excited about, though. Because the Pacers haven't been doing bad without Victor Oladipo.
Not at all.
So to have him there, finally, hey, man.
The league is not ready. No one in the Eastern Conference is ready.
Man, if you really listen to Chop It Up the podcast, man, you didn't heard Baylee say that 100 times. The league is not ready.
And I'm excited for the atmosphere in Banker's Life because I would imagine he would start to hear the starting lineups and to hear that man scream Victor Oladipo. I would imagine it's going to be a sellout crowd. Everyone's going to be for Vic's return. I'm probably going to get some goosebumps, man. I'm very, very excited. I'm ready for Vic to get back into the groove of things as the most important stretch of the season post All-Star break is when he'll be back. Starts, and I'm just wondering what it's going to mean for the other players, your TJ McConnells, your Jeremy Lamb, because I don't think Jeremy Lamb's going to start. It's going to be Brogdon, Depot, Warren, Miles, and Sabonis are top 5 or starting 5. So Lamb's going to move to the bench. What about Aaron Holiday? He's been having a bunch of minutes since Brogdon has been injured off and on. So it's gonna shift some personnel, but I think the players, or I would imagine the players, have known this is coming, and they're just going to rally behind it. And Indiana Pacers, bro, they're going to be a scary team, I promise, in the East.
I am excited for that, but there's a lot of other games that's before they got to take care of.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But just make sure I just don't want them looking forward on what Victor coming and getting distracted from these games.
It's still like 2 weeks away.
So just let the fans be happy about that and proud about that. And you guys play basketball, please.
Yes, sir.
All right, man, this next one, I've been excited to talk about this again too, man. Updated AP rankings.
They just came out this morning.
Yes, sir. Gonzaga, Baylor, Duke, Auburn, and Butler. And
look at Butler in the top 5, man.
And it's crazy because, it's been such a – you know how many number ones there's been?
And how many number ones have lost this season? Yeah, it's like 8 or 9 or something like that. Number 1 teams have fallen before the new year. It was like a record. Like it was the first time in history it's ever happened. So Gonzaga's probably next to go down. I don't know.
All right, and then you're funny because you said shout out to the Butler Bulldogs.
Yes, sir.
But I would like to see that. I like to see the little teams make stuff happen, even though Gonzaga's number 1. I don't consider them a little team for basketball, though.
Yeah, they've always been there. But the thing about Gonzaga is they're one of those teams that have an easy conference. They're the Mountain West, or wait, no, excuse me, that's San Diego State. I don't have it on here, Gonzaga's conference. But, there's nobody in that conference. So to close the season, they're probably – I just said they'd probably lose. They're probably not going to lose because I couldn't name you another team in their conference, to be honest with you.
They're in a West Coast conference.
The West Coast Conference. Like what is that?
I ain't going to lie to you. I did not know that.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, you have teams like Baylor or Duke in the ACC, Auburn in the SEC, playing tougher competition. And Auburn's undefeated. I have only 2 undefeated teams in the top 25. Auburn at 15-0, San Diego State at 17-0. But Gonzaga, I don't know. They shouldn't lose any games, but I don't see them keeping number 1 for very long. I don't know. It's weird.
Now, how you feel about IU?
Hey, I'm all for IU. I'm all for any Indiana school doing good because it just puts national attention on us. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, I'm going to be honest with you. IU, man, they've surprised me all year this year because, like, you hear about IU and their basketball team and all that stuff all the time, but, like, to actually see them do good.
Yeah, because they
ain't been like good like this in a minute.
No, they haven't. I think they're 13-3 right now. They just beat at home number 21 Ohio State, but for Ohio State's sake, they've been bad recently.
They've been struggling.
Is
that like? And I don't know because Ohio State's one of those teams people just automatically expect to be good.
Well, they were like number 2 in the nation or top 3 a couple weeks ago.
But conference play is a different type of game. Once you get up in that,
Yes, sir, and they've 1-4 to start the Big Ten, so big win for IU, but against a struggling team like Ohio State. I want to see more.
This is another thing I feel about IU. I feel like they have shown that they're good, but they also shown that they're not that good also because I watched the Notre Dame game, and it should never be that close.
No. Who have IU lost to? I know they've lost 3 games. Do you have their schedule up by chance?
I know they lost to Maryland. Let me see. They lost to Maryland, Wisconsin, and they might have another loss somewhere.
Yeah, they have 3: Wisconsin, Arkansas, and Maryland. Those are their 3 losses. Okay. So they're not even ranked. They're 13-3, third in the Big Ten, unranked. So let's see if they get some more good dubs.
Yeah, now they need to at least be ranked now.
Of course, they're at Rutgers, at Nebraska, and then home against Michigan State their next 3 games. So we'll see how they go.
All right, man. Another thing that's been going on, the playoffs.
Football, man. It's the best time of year.
I'm not going to say everybody loves football. I love football.
Right, I love football too.
Especially this type of football, man.
Bro.
Playoffs time and national championship time.
Yep, and then you got Super Bowl in a couple weeks.
All right, so the Chiefs in Houston.
Yep.
Please give me your opinion on what you watched because that was that was crazy.
So I didn't watch the first quarter and honestly like the first half of the second quarter because of the game we did yesterday was just ending.
Yeah.
I got home about halfway through the second quarter and it was like 21-21. They had tied it or something like that. But they were down 24-0 at the beginning of the second quarter. They scored 41 unanswered points to go up 41-24 on the Texans at home.
Yes, I was going to mention that because you put that in bold on the notes, and that's ridiculous.
Completely flipped the switch on them, which is huge because I like Kansas City and I like Mahomes, and I would rather them do that than get blown out by the Colts rival, the AFC South rival, Houston Texans. So I don't know, man. They showed their dominance, and I think they're now Super Bowl favorites.
You know, one thing, man, that makes your defense look so terrible.
It does.
41 unanswered points.
And they were quick. They were like 3-4 play drives.
It makes you think that, like, I've been seeing memes and stuff like like players talking to Patrick Mahomes, like, all right, so this what we're going to do. We're going to let them score this many touchdowns, and then we're going to come out and blow them out after.
And they did. They literally did that yesterday. So, I don't know. To be down 24-0 and have that place silent, you're at home, divisional round, and then you go score 41 straight points out of nowhere. It just shows Kansas City's dominance, bro.
Another surprise, man. Tennessee,
this one hurt
Baltimore. Me. Hey, I already know it hurt you because you know you love some Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, and I really wanted to see the Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes rematch in the championship game. That would have been special. But shout out to the Titans, honestly.
Man, so I seen this picture on Facebook. I don't know if you've seen it, but it was like Earl Thomas.
Yeah.
And he was like turned around away from Derrick Henry while Derrick Henry was running right past him.
Yeah,
and it was
he
funny.
had just got stiff armed
Yeah,
by Derrick
and it was
Henry.
funny.